So it's a month now since Cardijn's returned from Rome for the first plenary meeting of the Preparatory Commission on Lay Apostolate, and he's certainly been busy. He's written 2 new notes for the Commission, first one responding to their proposed plan of work, and the second one giving his own personal outline, again, focusing on his concept of lay apostolate. But before he sends them back to Rome, he wants to consult with his advisors. So the big question is, who does he choose to be his advisors? Well, the one that we might have thought would be most likely to become an advisor would be Mgr Gerard Philips, the noted expert on the theology of the laity at Louvain, whom Cardijn had earlier consulted around 10 years earlier, around 1950. And who had been present as a keynote speaker at the Second World Congress on Lay Apostolate in 1957. It's notable, however, that Cardijn doesn't consult Philips. In fact, what appears to have happened over the course of the 1950s is that a divergence of views has developed between Philips and Cardijn. Moreover, Philips has taken the side and worked more closely with the auxiliary bishop of Brussels, Léon-Joseph Suenens, who at that time was emerging as an opponent of specialised Catholic action. Suenens had in fact just recently published in 1958 in the Jesuit Review, Nouvelle Revue Théologique, an article criticising the alleged monopoly of the specialised Catholic action movements. Now, clearly Philips was close to Suenens, so this, I believe, explains why Cardijn didn't go to him. Instead, he went to the Diocese of Tournai, which is on the southern border of Belgium, not far from Lille, which is in northern France. The whole area is a traditional, long-standing mining area, coal mining area, an industrial area dating back to the beginnings of the Industrial Revolution. And the bishop at that time was Bishop Charles Marie Himmer, originally a priest from the Diocese of Namur, which is further to the east in Belgium. Himmer had been a JOC chaplain and specialised action chaplain in that diocese. Then once he became Bishop of Tournai, he continued to promote the Cardijn approach to Joseph's movements in his work in the diocese. In fact, one of the first things he did was to organise a social week there, which began with a diocesan-wide inquiry in every parish into the social and economic situation of the people living there. Now, being a mining area, an industrial area, many of those people were working class people, living in sometimes in slum conditions, suffering from poor working conditions. So there were a lot of issues there, and Himmer had made that a focus of his work as the bishop in the diocese. Who did he appoint to be his offsider, his vicar general? It was Mgr Désiré Joos, who had an equal social concern and engagement with specialised Catholic action movements. And we see here that it's Mgr Joos whom Cardijn chooses to be his advisor in the drafting of those notes for the Pontifical Commission on Lay Apostolate. It seems that Joos was a little bit surprised to be consulted by Cardijn. I guess he didn't really see himself as a theologian, rather as a practical, pastorally involved person. But if we think about it from Cardijn's point of view, I guess he was not just looking for somebody to advise him on the content of his draft notes, but also we can view this whole process as one of his first steps in beginning to build up a coalition, a network of like-minded priests and bishops who would work with him over the course of the council over the following 5 years. So I believe it's in that light that we can look upon his letter to Mgr Joos, asking him to send back his comments. In effect, I believe Cardijn was sure that formally or informally, Joos would share Cardijn's concerns with Bishop Himmer. And that was the first step. That, in fact, that's a classical way in which Cardijn worked. One of his methods of operation, of advocacy, bringing the way in which he brought people on side as collaborators with him. So that's the significance of this letter to Monsignor Joos, I believe. And we'll see in the next couple of days the content of those two notes.